y'all, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Jen, and here on my channel we talk about luxury, style, experience, travel, date nights, all types of things that are on my mind and that are important to me that I want to share with you all. So thank you to all of my returning subscribers. I am so grateful for you all, and to all of you who are newly visiting my channel, I hope that you will enjoy the content and that you will decide to join the family, what I'm calling the G League, where we are glowing and growing here together on my channel, and that you will subscribe. So today on this channel we're going to talk about travel bags that are luxury items and whether to keep them or to move on to something else. So stick around and let's talk about it. So for many years I had been going back and forth trying to decide what would be my next luxury travel bag. So you may remember I did do a video a while back now on Coach, some travel pieces with Coach, which are still, I would say they're still high quality. Love to travel with them. They're actually my husband's bags and they just look so good. It's just that rich caramel chocolate color and the quality is just stellar. So Coach really did a good job, and so I was looking for my collection, what I wanted to go with for my own traveling bags. So I was really on the fence between did I want a keep-all from Louis Vuitton, or if I was going to go a different direction and get a Gucci duffel. So I had to go back and forth with, do I love the pattern, one pattern or over the other? What would go best with my aesthetic and, you know, what I like to wear? And then also I was thinking about what is just oversaturated? What am I seeing all the time and what am I not seeing so much? And so at one point I was very much thinking that I wanted to get the keep-all because it's so classic, and if I were to choose between Louis Vuitton and Gucci, I would say I'm really neck and neck. I wear them both a lot, but I would say I'm more a Louis girl. I gravitate toward that more than Gucci, but actually these days it may be the reverse. Like I feel like I wear a lot more Gucci these days. But anyway, I was really just on the fence, just trying to figure out what it is I truly wanted. And so I had made up my mind I was going to go forward and get a keep-all. And so I went in the store and I was looking at them, and I, was like, well, let me just think about it a little more. I just wasn't 100% sold. And then I went on a trip and I started to notice I see the keep-alls everywhere. Every trip I've ever taken, every time I go on vacation, on the flight, going, coming, in the hotel, I always see the keep-alls. And I'm even starting to see the lighter print in keep-alls as well. People will have their Neverfull, and they'll have a carry-on duffel in some of the various sizes, but you see it everywhere. And so I quickly decided after that trip that I was going to jump on the Gucci duffel. The Supreme Monogram Ophidia duffel from Gucci, and I was so in love with this bag. I mean, the print is stellar, and it just felt so exclusive. I didn't see it anywhere, and I love the print, and I just felt like this is me. This is what I'm gonna go with, and I'm so excited about it. So let's show you the bag. So here is the Supreme Ophidia Gucci duffel with the double G monograms. This bag is everything. It is so well made. I have stuffing in it right now, the reason why it has its shape, but it has the double G emblem here right on the top. It has the little pouch for the keys that is used for the lock here that I have on one of the zippers. It also has the name tag here. It has that signature Gucci red and green strap that goes all the way around, and it also has these little stands here for when you're putting your bag on the ground. It also has this very sturdy shoulder strap, and you may remember in one of my other videos I talked about traveling with a Louis bag that did not have a shoulder strap and how miserable I was traveling with it. The reason I ultimately decided to sell that bag, and so I'll insert that video for you as well. But I knew when I got this bag, and also when I've been looking at Keepalls, that I was not going to get a duffel bag if it did not have a shoulder strap, or a bandolier. And so I was like, this bag is everything. So I got the bag. I was so excited to travel with it. I had a trip coming up to the Bahamas, and so I was like, I can't wait to wear my new travel bag. Let's get into my experience with it. My experience was so frustrating. And it was frustrating because this bag is heavy. I currently only have stuffing in it, and it's heavy, even just with stuffing in it, okay? And so imagine if you have shoes in here or clothes in here. I decided to put my shoes in the duffel bag for my travel, because normally that's what's the heaviest in my check-on bag. So I decided, let me put all of the shoes in the duffel. And again, I went to the Bahamas, so I only had a couple heels for dinner, but the majority were flat sandals. This bag was so heavy. I tried to also put my laptop in here so I didn't have to carry it around, and it just made it even heavier. So it was such a pain hauling this around, and because of its size, it does not fit comfortably on a rollaway carry-on. It's too large, so it sticks out. You're trying to put these top handles over, the little rolling handle, but they're too small to stretch over the handles, and then it just sticks out. It's just in the way. It just is too large for a roll-on carry-on, and it's even too large for my luggage, my checked-in luggage. I tried to sit it on top of that, and it's still with, as you're rolling around, you have to keep adjusting it, and I was trying to hold the handle of the rolling luggage with these two handles at the same time. I mean, it was just not, it did not, what I had in my mind was not what my reality was when I was traveling with this bag. And God forbid if you have this as a carry-on like I did, and you have a layover in between your connecting flights. And maybe you're traveling, like our connecting flight was in Atlanta, and if anyone has traveled in Atlanta, you have to get on their little metro little system to transport you to the next gate, and you have to carry this bag. And so it was on my shoulder, and then my husband had it, but he had his own bags, and it was just such a struggle. So now you're on this metro situation, and you're trying to squeeze on, or you have to put it on the ground, or try to put it on your shoulder, and it is just not, it's just so large and heavy. Then think about if you have, as I mentioned, a connecting flight. Maybe you have a layover of some sort, and you want to go to eat. Trying to sit this on a chair in your small little restaurant where you're trying to eat, and try to sit this on a chair or on the ground while you're eating, it's just not ideal. And then hauling it, you may have a long distance to get to, a restaurant or to do some shopping while you're waiting for your next flight. And then what about if you need to go to the restroom? I went to the restroom and I was like, this is so large. I couldn't even get in the door because it's so large. I couldn't get in the door comfortably and try it. There was no hook to have it hanging or anything while I used the restroom. And so I went into the disabled stall, and sure enough, there was a woman who was disabled in a wheelchair that was standing there patiently looking at me like, really, I really need to use this stall and you've been in there with your bag. So that was my experience with this bag, and I just felt like it was just not ideal for traveling for me. Then when I got on the flight, we were actually in first class, but we had a little bit of a delay between our connecting flights, and so we were late to our connecting flight, and all of the overhead compartments were already full in our area. And so I tried to shove this under the seat in front of me, which it eventually did get under there, but it was such a struggle, and the more I would push it to get it under there, the more annoyed I was that this is an expensive bag. To be on the floor, number one, was just really just insane. I did not love having my bag, or I don't even want my purse on the floor. But it would have comfortably fit in the overhead compartment, but because we were late to board, there was no more space, so we had to put it underneath. And then if you happen to need to get something out of it, you know, during your flight, which we did, and then I realized I had put it in with the zipper going inward, so I had to pull it all the way out in order to get to the zipper to unzip and get what I needed and push it back under there. That was a hassle as well. So I just feel like it wasn't really functional when I'm thinking about my travel experience. But again, it's well made. I love the bag, but I ultimately feel, based on that one travel experience, that this would be a bag if I had local overnight travel. If I go visit my parents or something and just staying overnight, if we're going somewhere local and we're staying in a hotel, I can take this as my one travel bag. Otherwise, I think I'm considering selling it altogether, because I just feel like this is not the ideal travel bag for my preference. Now, if you're a person that you only have a couple things you're throwing in here, a couple sweaters, and you don't fill it up to the rim, and you don't mind having it on your shoulder, then it's fine for you. But for me, it was not ideal. And so I think I am going to personally go back to my original plan and get a keep-all. And also because keep-alls comes in so many sizes, from 40 to 45 to 50 to 55, even 60, I would have options. And so I feel like I would likely go with a 40 or 45. I think that would be perfect for me. And then travel with that along with a Neverfull, and that would be perfect. So Neverfull will have my laptop, the keep-all will have, you know, some of my actual travel essentials. This bag, I was thinking originally when I first ordered it, I was thinking, okay, I'm going to get some type of shoulder bag or tote to accompany this when I'm traveling. And I did like a few options as far as the totes to accompany this. But because I was so just dissatisfied with the experience with this one, I'm thinking about what the experience would be if I had this on my shoulder and a tote on my shoulder. My shoulder would be worn out. I would be so exhausted, and it would not be ideal. And so again, with a keep-all, I can have about a size 40, which is manageable to hold by the top handles, and also to have sitting more comfortably on my rollaway carry-on. and even my check-in luggage. A 40, I think, would sit much more comfortably on it, because again, I see it everywhere. Everyone is rolling around with their Keepalls with no issues. Again, I did not see a lot of these. There was only one woman, which was so hilarious, on our flight back from the Bahamas. I saw this bag, and it was in the overhead compartment right across from us, and I said, wow, this is the only time I've ever seen this bag ever, and it's on our flight. So that's hilarious. But it just feels more exclusive, and that was the reason why I wanted to go with this. I didn't want to kind of be like everyone and have a Keepall, but now I understand why so many people have a Keepall. So this bag, again, I would give it a strong 8. For the craftsmanship, the quality. It's just a very beautiful bag. And I'm really sad to think about repurposing it or parting ways with it ultimately. But I just don't think it fits my traveling needs. And so for that reason, I am going to pass on this bag, and I am going to move forward with the Keepall family. So that is my little chat with you for today. So let me know if you have this Gucci duffel bag and what your experience has been, or if you are one of the individuals that also agrees that the Keepalls are the way to go. So I do intend to do a part 2 follow-up once I do receive my Louis Vuitton travel essentials, and we'll be able to then compare, because I will likely get it right before my trip, and we'll be able to travel with it and really assess what is the better experience, personally speaking. Okay, well, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one.